Bush are an alternative rock band formed in London in 1992. The band found immediate success with the album 16 Stone in 1994. The band sold 10 million records in the US. Despite their popularity in the States back home, they were less known. Some good songs on 16 Stone are Everything Zen, Come Down, Machine Head, Glycerine. Those are my favorite tracks off the album. There's more songs that I've been exploring on the album since getting it on CD recently. Interesting album cover there. Looks like a old TV screen or computer screen. Those old computer screens, they only had like 3 or 4 different colors. I think, the green screen with blue letters or white letters and white numbers. Those are really cool to me, even though they're primitive today. But anyways, we did see the band put out a video for, I believe it was Come Down and Everything's In. I believe that's what it was. But in this music video, Gavin Rossdale used a Jaguar guitar, which it was the same coloring and everything as the guitar that Kurt Cobain used in one of Nirvana's music videos, or that's what he used on tour. It wasn't the exact same guitar. In other words, it wasn't Kurt's guitar. I don't know who has that. Courtney Love might have that, but this is a really good album if you're just getting into Bush. I got this CD on the cheap, got it used. It's a very great sounding record. It's well produced, but not overproduced, and I think that really shows. The band's record company, or I guess the music industry in general at the time, was looking for the next Nirvana, since Nirvana had broken up, I think, at this point. And some people have gone to say that Bush are like a British version of Nirvana. I don't really see that at all, because Nirvana's music was a little more gloomy. I didn't really see this in Bush and their later albums. So it's some of the songs that Bush has put together over the years are uplifting, and it's nice to sit down and put on a CD, have a few beers, relax and listen to something good, some songs with some meaning, something that you can, do air drums to or something. There was a greatest hits CD put out, mostly 16 songs from 16 Stone on it. It also came with a DVD with some music videos on it. I think it was like songs from 1994 to 2001. It's an okay release. Let's see. Yeah, wish I had the CD in front of me. It'd be nice to be able to see it, but it's packed away. Anyways, 1996, Razor Blade Suitcase came out. This record showed how much the band had grown. We had a little more, more refined sound. It's still a rock and roll album, but there are some slower songs. Mouth, Greedfly, Cold Contagious. Or that's Contagious. And the last song, Bone Driven. Those are the songs I've listened to off it. I'm going to explore this album more. There might have been a music video from Mouth. I'm not totally sure on that, but album cover here is pretty neat. You have something burning in the background there. One would like to think that it is a burning cross, but I doubt it's that, because that's way too controversial, and it's something Bush would not do. But there's another band called Bush in Canada, and for a while there, Bush had to use the name Bush X while they were touring in Canada. I don't know what they did to their albums, if they had to alter the covers just for the Canadian releases, but they ended up getting to use the Bush name in Canada by donating $200,000 to the Starlight Foundation or something. The first band, or the Canadian Bush band, asked that they do that so then they could use the Bush name. And that's the story on that. 1999, we saw the band release The Science of Things. This is a more electronic album. There still are rock and roll elements in the songs, but it is interesting, and this is the very first Bush album or CD I ever heard. I think the LP of this is a little harder to find, same with the other Bush LPs. And it's that way with most 90s rock bands, because by that time, as we know, CDs had somewhat taken over. We have songs like The Chemicals Between Us, War Machine, letting the letting the cable sleep. Um, but overall, it's a great album, and this is the very first Bush music video I ever saw, and that was for the song "The Chemicals Between Us." Interesting album cover there. You have the eagles flying above the man in the biohazard suit. Kind of reminds me of something that we might see towards the end of Days, or um, something like that. It kind of reminds me of Resident Evil type artwork, or something that would and has been put in the movie and probably will be put in future Resident Evil movies. That's a very good series of movies, and video game series that I will be reviewing in my video game series of videos. Golden State, released in 2001. We have songs like "The People That We Love," "Speed Kills," and that's the whole name of the song there. Head Full of Ghosts and Inflatable. This is a pretty good album. The original cover was supposed to have a black plane behind the album title there, and the cover was going to be yellow, but due to the fact that September 11th attacks had just happened, right before this album came out, the record company decided that, and the band decided that it was too controversial. People would it would actually end up hurting album sales. But I think you can find that artwork inside the CD booklet. It is interesting to see. It is quite sad. Those events are quite sad when I think about it, and seeing the documentaries on 9/11. And I think America will continue to remember that event until the end of our time on Earth here, until the human population is wiped out. But I don't sit around thinking about that kind of stuff. Gavin Rossdale did put out some solo albums, and I'll cover those in another video. Sea of Memories came out in September 2011. You have songs like "Sound of Winter," "All My Life." There are some more songs on here. I am just now getting around to exploring this album. It's not a bad album. It's a little different. Some songs are a little poppier, but I do hear that the signature Bush sound in the album, it sounds like they kind of went back to basics here. It is a slightly more produced album to me. There are some really good guitar licks and drum licks, and the lyrics are something to pay attention to in this album for sure. I don't know if there's any music videos on here or not, or on this any music videos put out for this album yet, but overall it's sounding pretty good so far. I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm pretty open-minded on music these days, so I'm gonna give it a shot, do the best I can. So yeah, that's the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, and look forward to more of these types of videos in the future. So yeah, thanks for watching.